I woke up in the body of a side character from some trashy Y novel, The Rich Pathetic Simp. So, when a male lead threw the black Amex card the Villainess had given him onto the hallway floor, my muscle memory from 20 plus years of being dirt poor kicked in. I instinctively snatched it, wiped it clean on my sleeve, and tucked it into my pocket. The crowd of students stared. The Villainess herself looked at me bewildered. "Did your family go bankrupt?" I clutched the card in my pocket, feeling the comforting presence of a dozen other platinum and black cards in my wallet. I found myself nodding, then shaking my head. My family didn't, but I did. The Villainess just blinked. And just like that, I went from being the female lead's designated simp to the Villainesses. The first day of senior year at Northwood Preparatory Academy was already chaos. 9 times out of 10, that minute had something to do with the main characters and the designated rich Villainess. I pushed my way through the crowd in the main hall. "Yep, called it. Tiffany, take your dirty money back. I don't need your charity." Leo Peterson, the brooding scholarship kid, slammed the sleek black credit card onto the polished floor with theatrical disgust. At his side, his childhood sweetheart and our story's heroine, Jasmine Ray, chimed in. "Exactly. You can't just buy people, Tiffany. Our dignity isn't for sale." Tiffany Sean, the so-called Villainess, was cornered. Her face flushed crimson. Her mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. Tears welled up in her eyes. Holy crap. My eyes practically turned green when I saw that card. Tiffany was a legit heiress. A card from her had to have a credit limit in the 5, maybe even 6 figures. And this idiot just threw it on the ground. I dove into the circle, scooped up the card, gave it a respectful wipe with my uniform sleeve, and slipped it into my pocket. I need it. I totally need it. I'm broke. Please, Your Highness, bestow this gift upon this humble peasant. I declared. The onlookers, Tiffany, Leo, and Jasmine all stared at me. Jasmine was glaring at me like she wanted to set me on fire with her mind. See, in the novel, both Leo and Jasmine were broke. Without Tiffany's unsolicited financial aid, they could barely afford lunch. They'd always put on this big show of rejecting her handouts, all proud and defiant. They would eventually, reluctantly, accept the money. And Tiffany, the poor, naive girl, would be thrilled that they finally took it. Well, not anymore. From now on, I'd be the one accepting the charity. These two ungrateful snakes could go pound sand. Tiffany's expression shifted from anger to confusion. "Ethan," she said, her voice uncertain. "When did you get so hard up for cash?" Oops. In my excitement over the free money, I'd forgotten that my character, Ethan Sawyer, was supposed to be just as loaded as she was. I pulled a random excuse out of thin air. "Oh, my dad cut me off. Said I won't get my allowance back until my grades improve on the midterms." A flicker of understanding crossed Tiffany's face. The original Ethan's grades were notoriously abysmal. His dad was always on his case about it. Her expression softened with sympathy. She rummaged in her designer bag and pushed a box of expensive imported chocolates into my hands. "Here, for you." I looked down. It was my favorite brand of Swiss chocolate, the kind I used to stare at in shop windows in my previous life, clutching my empty wallet. I hugged the box to my chest and announced with newfound fervor, "Tiffany, from this day forward, I'm with you. In my past life, I was an orphan. The group home was always crowded, the resources always thin. I scraped by, just barely fed and clothed. I got through school on scholarships and financial aid, paying for everything else with an endless string of part-time jobs. After graduation, I landed a corporate job, but the pressure only got worse. It was the classic startup grind. I endured 80-hour workweeks and often slept at my desk. It's no wonder my heart gave out, a cliché ending for a corporate drone. Then, I woke up here. This world was a cheesy old-school young adult romance novel. As a wage slave, I never had time to read that stuff, but my female coworkers chatted about it endlessly, so I knew the gist. Leo Peterson was the poor but handsome genius, the kid every parent wishes they had. Jasmine Ray was his childhood sweetheart and the story's heroine. She was the woman who stood by him from poverty to startup founder glory. And Tiffany Sean was the rich girl obsessed with him. She fell for him at first sight and proceeded to stalk him relentlessly. As for me, Ethan Sawyer, I lived in the same gated community as Tiffany. But in the original story, I was Jasmine Ray's loyal simp. What a raw deal. It was bad enough being reborn as a simp, but my character's ending was tragic. Leo eventually develops kidney failure, and guess who's a perfect match? In a moment of weakness, manipulated by Jasmine's tearful pleas, Ethan actually donates his kidney. Jasmine called him her savior for life, but after the surgery, she never visited him once. Worse, once Leo recovered, he staged a hostile takeover of Ethan's family's company. Ethan, broken with no money for post-op care, died destitute on the streets. Talk about getting screwed over. Of course, the Villainess's fate wasn't much better. After Leo's startup became successful, he systematically destroyed her family's company, driving her father to suicide. Her mother, unable to cope, overdosed on sleeping pills. Leo then sold Tiffany to a human trafficking ring. His justification was that she had always humiliated him with her money, and now it was his turn to pay her back. She eventually slit her wrists. Seriously, what kind of psycho author writes this garbage? How could those two possibly be the heroes? From what I'd seen today, Tiffany wasn't some evil villainess. She was just a naive, sheltered girl with a crush. She heard my flimsy excuse about being broke and immediately gave me her card and her expensive chocolate. Meanwhile, Leo and Jasmine acted unbearably arrogant. They could not even afford a decent meal, yet they acted like royalty, bestowing a great honor by deigning to accept her money. Luckily, I just transferred to Northwood Prep. I hadn't had a single real interaction with Jasmine yet. From now on, I'd just avoid her. My new mission was to save myself from becoming an involuntary organ donor. And while I'm at it, help Tiffany avoid her tragic fate. Let someone else suffer their humiliation. From now on, I'll take it. If I have to be a simp, I'd rather be Tiffany's. Tiffany was on edge. I knew why. She was worried Leo wouldn't have money for dinner. After school, when her family's driver dropped off her dinner, a lavish spread in a multi-tiered bento box, she finally broke. She picked it up, ready to march over to Leo's desk. The second she stood up, I was there. Tiffany, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Her eyes, full of worry, narrowed at me. Why not? Do you remember why Leo always gets mad at you? I asked. She looked blank for a moment. Because I give him money. I snapped my fingers. Exactly, because you give him money. Leo is a scholar. He's got pride, you know, a man of principle. Throwing money at a guy like that is the ultimate insult. Didn't you hear what Jasmine said? They don't want your money. You've been using the wrong strategy all along. Tiffany's hands clenched into fists. Oh, so that's why he never paid attention to me, no matter how hard I tried. He doesn't like money. A moment later, her face was full of academic curiosity. So, what should I do now? I leaned in, adopting a conspiratorial tone. Leo's always in the top 3 of our class, right? He said he's aiming for Harvard. But your grades right now are average. If you don't get into the same university, you'll probably never see him again, will you? The light bulb went on. I get it. I need to study hard and get into Harvard. I nodded, satisfied. Perfect. She was teachable. As if on cue, Leo and Jasmine walked into the classroom. They saw the elaborate dinner container in Tiffany's hands, and Leo's brow furrowed. Tiffany, don't think you're special just because you have money, he said coldly. I might be poor, but I can afford my own dinner. Tiffany, having taken my words to heart, hugged the container tighter. I know, this isn't for you. Leo froze. Even Jasmine looked at her in disbelief. The timid love-struck girl was actually changing her tone. I leaned against Tiffany's desk with a grin. Hey Tiffany, I'm starving. Any chance I could have that for dinner? For the next week, the extra meal her driver brought every evening went straight into my stomach. A few times, Tiffany looked like she was about to cave and go talk to Leo. But I always managed to distract her. Leo seemed to be managing okay, but Jasmine was another story entirely. The healthy glow was gone from her cheeks, and she looked noticeably thinner. Before, when Tiffany was trying to win Leo over, she'd always bring extra food for his best friend too. Now that Leo's free 5-star meals were cut off, so were Jasmine's. Stale rolls from the cafeteria and free tap water must have been a miserable substitute. Jasmine finally broke and came to me, her character's designated backup simp. I was just coming back to the classroom after lunch when she suddenly stumbled. She lurched dramatically into my arms. Oh, Ethan, I'm so sorry. She gasped, her face streaked with tears. I'm just so hungry. My blood sugar is low. I got dizzy and couldn't see where I was going. Please don't be mad at me. She looked up at me, a picture of tragic damsel in distress beauty. A quick glance around confirmed it. Leo was nowhere in sight. Of course, in a novel, the heroine only ever approaches the simp for help when the hero isn't around. I hadn't spoken a single word to her since I'd arrived in this world, yet here she was clinging to me. You had to admire the sheer overpowering power of the plot. I sighed dramatically. I get it. Don't you worry. I'll take you right over. Jasmine's eyes lit up with a flicker of triumph, but she kept up the helpless act. Oh, thank you, but you don't have to spend any money on me, really. I'm used to being hungry. I cut her off with a serious expression. Nonsense. You've been through so much. I can't just stand by and do nothing. From her desk, Tiffany shot to her feet. Ethan. These past few days, Tiffany and I had become study buddies, building a nice little revolutionary friendship. She despised Jasmine for constantly trying to drive a wedge between her and Leo. Knowing she was upset, I gave her a subtle wink. Why don't you come with us, Tiffany? You've treated me to so much good food. It's my turn to treat. Tiffany hesitated, glanced at Jasmine, then reluctantly followed us. I led them straight to the school's newspaper club office. Jasmine looked confused. Ethan, what are we doing here? I ignored her and called out to a student hunched over a laptop. Hey, how about a front-page story for your next issue? Then, I launched into an exaggerated, flowery account of Jasmine's plight. I finished with a grand summary. Jasmine Ray is a student of incredible character. She would rather go hungry than accept a handout, a true testament to her integrity. This pride, this nobility, what kind of spirit is this? It's the very spirit of perseverance and moral fortitude that we students are so sorely lacking. Her story deserves to be shared with the entire student body, to be celebrated and emulated. The heroine, the villainess, and the newspaper kid all stared at me, dumbfounded. To be honest, I had no idea what I was saying either. But I confused and flattered Jasmine into a corner, and that was the whole point. The newspaper kid was the first to snap out of it. He grabbed a pen and started scribbling furiously. Jasmine, this is amazing. Can I interview you? We'll feature your incredible story in the next edition of the Northwood Chronicle. Jasmine, caught between shock and delight, stammered, Of course, you can. With them thoroughly bamboozled, I grabbed Tiffany and beat a hasty retreat. Tiffany frowned. Ethan, I thought you didn't like her. Why did you help her? I put a finger to my lips mysteriously. Chill. Just wait for the show this afternoon. After the last bell, my family's driver arrived with a massive delivery of food. While most of the class was still packing up, I made a loud announcement. Hey everyone, my family sent over some food. If you want, stick around and have dinner with us. The offer was a huge hit. Most of the students at Northwood were from ordinary middle-class families. The chance to get a free, delicious meal was a no-brainer. Jasmine's face lit up, and she eagerly approached the desk piled high with steak, chicken wings, and salads. Her hand reached for a bowl of beautifully steamed fish. Just as her fingers were about to touch it, I swiftly picked it up and handed it to Tiffany. Jasmine's hand froze in midair. Tiffany, seeing Jasmine's move, happily accepted the fish. Leo saw it all. He stormed over scowling. Ethan, Jasmine was about to take that fish. Why did you give it to Tiffany? The other students looked at Leo like he had 3 heads. Is he for real? It's Ethan's food. He can give it to whoever he wants. Wow, the unbelievable entitlement. Begging for food and acting like he owns the place. I widened my eyes innocently. This fish? I had this specially made to thank Tiffany for feeding me all week. Why would I give it to Jasmine? I gestured to them both. Besides, I didn't get enough for you too. Why are you even reaching for it? Leo and Jasmine's faces went scarlet. Jasmine looked like she was about to faint, a wilting white lotus caught in a hurricane. Seeing his damsel in distress, Leo rounded on Tiffany. Tiffany, I know Ethan is your new lapdog. He must be doing this on your orders to get at Jasmine. If you have a problem, take it up with me. Why are you taking it out on her? Tiffany exploded. I haven't said a single word. How am I targeting her? Jasmine, you tell me. I haven't even looked at you all week. When did I ever target you? Jasmine hid behind Leo, clutching his arm and mumbling weakly. Because Leo and I grew up together and he's always looked out for me. You see me as a threat, so you've always disliked me. She then shook her head at Leo pitifully. It's okay, Leo. It's fine. Tiffany is an heiress. A poor girl like me doesn't deserve to eat with her. It's normal that there's no food for me. I rolled my eyes silently. The girl might be poor, but her manipulation skills were top tier. At least she had one marketable talent. Provoked by Jasmine's performance, Leo's anger flared instantly. Tiffany, apologize to Jasmine right now. If you don't, I'm done with you forever. At his words, Tiffany's face went white with hurt. I couldn't stand seeing the proud heiress bullied like this. I stepped firmly in front of her. Leo, stop looking for excuses to blame Tiffany for everything. The reason I didn't save you any food was for your own good. Jasmine looked stunned. What? I proceeded to recount the entire newspaper office scene from that afternoon. Jasmine, you just gave an interview. The whole school is about to read about your unbreakable spirit and noble character. They'll learn how you can't be bought or broken. How could I possibly insult you with something as trivial as food? Hearing this, Leo's expression softened in embarrassment. But Jasmine's face turned absolutely ghastly. She opened her mouth to speak, but knowing her petty playbook tactics, I cut her off cold. Jasmine, you are a beacon of integrity. You light the way for the rest of us. You wouldn't want to disappoint the teachers and all the students who look up to you, would you? Jasmine's face twisted into a tragic mask. Yes, but I raised my voice again, addressing the whole class. Everyone, let's hear it. A round of applause for the incredible Jasmine Ray. The classroom erupted in thunderous applause. Drowned in the noise, Jasmine stood frozen, her mouth open, utterly speechless. Thanks to my little stunt, whenever Jasmine tried to subtly beg for favors, Tiffany could shut her down instantly with my words. Every time Tiffany recounted leaving Jasmine speechless, she laughed with pure delight. She had suffered so much under Jasmine's manipulative tactics that finally getting a win felt like a major victory. She wanted to broadcast her triumph to the whole school, but I stopped her. Some things are better left unsaid. If we push too hard, Jasmine would have nothing left to lose and could turn truly vicious. To thank me, Tiffany invited me out for the weekend, all expenses paid. Was this the wave of unimaginable wealth I'd been waiting for? She was honestly the sweetest person ever. That weekend, we went to the new Grand Vista Mall, the kind of luxury spot where price tags look like phone numbers. I watched in quiet panic as Tiffany tossed endless items at the sales associates. This one, and that one too. Wrap them all up. I snuck a peek at a price tag and nearly had a heart attack. The pile of clothes was worth more than I'd earned in an entire decade in my past life. I quickly stepped in to stop her. That's enough. I just wear a school uniform every day. I don't need all this. Tiffany put her hands on her hips with full magnanimous authority. Don't try to save me money. My parents don't have a spending limit for me. I tearfully accepted the gifts from my amazing benefactor. From this day forward, if anyone dared to mess with her, I would be the first to charge into battle without hesitation. Unlike girls' endless jewelry options, guys had very few fancy accessories to buy. Still, Tiffany stocked me up on tons of useless fancy items, brooches, cufflinks, and tie clips. Compared to all that luxury, the only thing I truly wanted was a Nintendo Switch. That was my real idea of happiness. Hearing me mutter about it, Tiffany asked in puzzlement, "What's a Nintendo?" I gave the sheltered heiress a quick crash course on game consoles. She listened thoughtfully, then spun on her heel and dragged me straight to the electronics store. She bought the latest Nintendo Switch model and tossed it casually into my hands. It was the one thing I'd always dreamed of but could never justify buying in my old poor life. If we hadn't been in public, I would have dropped to my knees and bowed in gratitude. My teary-eyed expression made Tiffany shift awkwardly. Your family's rich too, right? You have plenty of nice things. It's just a Switch. Do you have to be so dramatic? I stared up at the ceiling with profound sadness. I'm still adjusting to this role. You don't just shake off 20+ years of being poor overnight. I have the body of a wealthy prince, but the soul of a lifelong pauper. Tiffany didn't fully understand what I meant. She glanced toward a nearby bubble tea shop. I'm thirsty. Let's get some boba. You got it. The lady commands, the servant obeys. Even though I derailed the novel's main romance, the original plot was still a powerful force. The bubble tea shop was blessedly empty. Unfortunately, the two people who made my skin crawl were working there part-time. Leo pretended to stay busy behind the counter, while Jasmine leaned lazily against the wall, looking poetic and bored. Now that Tiffany's free handouts were gone, they'd been forced to get real jobs. The second Leo spotted us, his face turned sour. Tiffany, I told you I wouldn't accept your money. Stop trying to give it to me. Tiffany was surprised to see him working there too. After a second's pause, she clutched her purse instinctively. I know. I'm not here to give you money. You're doing great on your own. Leo stared at her speechlessly. Jasmine looked equally shocked. I chimed in with exaggerated sincerity. Don't worry, man. From now on, I'll bear all the shame of being showered with her money on your behalf. Before Leo could react, Jasmine exploded in anger. Tiffany, you've gone too far. Ethan is our classmate, not your servant. How dare you humiliate him with money? Don't think just because your family has money you can insult the rest of us. I would have happily let Tiffany's money humiliate me. But before I could explain, Jasmine kept ranting non-stop. Ethan, I've known you for weeks. I know you're kind and decent. I won't stand by and watch her bully you. I know exactly what Tiffany is like. She thinks she's better than everyone just because of her parents. She has no respect for anyone. I won't let you become her servant. Tiffany sneered coldly. I happen to enjoy having Ethan run errands for me. What's it to you? She didn't bother correcting the misunderstanding, completely indifferent to their judgment. No wonder she was cast as the cold villainess. Leo's face darkened sharply. Tiffany, watch your tone. Just because you're a rich girl doesn't mean you can insult people freely. I snapped back immediately. What the hell, dude? Are you selectively deaf? Did you not hear every rude word Jasmine just said about Tiffany? My gentle gentlemanly persona was officially gone. All three of them stared at me in stunned silence. My quiet, bookish image over the past few weeks had clearly fooled everyone. Jasmine instantly jumped in to play peacemaker. Everyone, please don't fight. I'm sure Tiffany's just spoiled and has a short temper, but she doesn't mean any harm. Please don't ruin your friendship because of me. I shot back without hesitation. No one's fighting over you. Stop being so full of yourself. You can roll trash and glitter, but it's still garbage. Jasmine's face flushed red then pale white, and tears streamed down her cheeks instantly. Leo rushed to comfort her, wiping her tears gently, then glared daggers at Tiffany. Tiffany, Jasmine was just telling the truth. Did you have to make Ethan insult her like that? I can't believe how malicious you are. You've really disappointed me. This guy's brain was clearly just for show. I'd insulted Jasmine with my own words, yet he still blamed Tiffany. He was a master of shifting blame. I was about to unleash a sailor's curse, but Tiffany beat me to it. She slapped Leo hard across the cheek. Leo touched his stinging, swelling cheek in utter disbelief. You hit me? Tiffany stared him down, holding back her own tears. You said I ordered Ethan to insult her, right? Well now, I'm not just insulting her, I'm hitting you. A man like you, who can't see the truth and only defends your little sweetheart. I don't want you anymore. Living inside this novel, I finally realized these characters weren't flat NPCs. They were real people with genuine feelings and complex personalities. The novel labeled Tiffany the evil villainess solely for chasing the male lead and blocking the main couple's romance, but she never once used underhanded tactics. In fact, she provided the money and connections that laid the foundation for Leo's future success. Leo, on the other hand, was the truly ungrateful bastard. No matter how much Tiffany sacrificed for him, his first move after getting rich was destroying her family. I finally saw the truth about Leo and Jasmine. So when Tiffany slapped him, I didn't stop her. Ever since I decided to save her from her tragic fate, I'd been trying to pull her far away from these two toxic people. If this final breakup cut her off from them forever, it was nothing short of a blessing. Without Tiffany's funding and connections, Leo's road to success would be infinitely harder. If he never got rich, Tiffany's family would stay safe and sound. Jasmine rushed to Leo's side, cradling his injured cheek. Leo, are you okay? He shook his head weakly. I'm fine. Jasmine's eyes turned red with anger as she stepped between us, pointing accusingly at Tiffany. Tiffany, you said you liked Leo. Even if you were mad your little schemes got exposed, you can't hit him. Was your love for him all fake? The other shop employees started whispering among themselves. Wow, she's so aggressive, hitting someone in public. Typical rich kid, thinks she can get away with anything. That Jasmine girl seems so sweet and wronged. Just then, the store manager bustled in from outside. What's going on here? What's all the commotion? Jasmine immediately launched into her well-rehearsed sob story, transforming back into the weak, bullied victim. The manager frowned, ready to side with her. But then he saw me, and his face instantly bloomed into a sycophantic grin. Well, if it isn't Mr. Sawyer. I should have known something important was happening today. It's an absolute honor to have you here. Every eye in the shop swiveled to me like spotlight beams. Tiffany tugged my arm in sudden realization. Oh right. This entire mall belongs to your family, doesn't it? Good Lord. Her words made the stares burn even hotter. I cleared my throat awkwardly. Technically, it's my dad's. It has nothing to do with me. The manager slapped his thigh eagerly. Nonsense. What belongs to your father will one day belong to you. This is all your family's property. I had no patience for pointless flattery. Since you put it that way, I said coldly to the manager, fire Leo Peterson and Jasmine Ray immediately. The manager didn't hesitate for a single second. Consider it done. Leo, holding the trembling, crying Jasmine, glared at me with a face black as thunder. I didn't do anything wrong. On what grounds are you firing me? I shot them both a look of pure contempt. A minute ago, you accused Tiffany of using money and power to humiliate you. Well, look closely now. The person using power and money to humble you right now is me, Ethan Sawyer. And Jasmine, stop trying to smear Tiffany's reputation. My family is just as wealthy as hers. She doesn't pay me to do anything. I carry her bag and stand by her side because I want to. I insulted you too for no complicated reason. I'm the rich, arrogant villain of this story. And I simply felt like putting two ungrateful, manipulative snakes in their place. After Tiffany completely cut ties with Leo, I threw both of us into a brutal, strict study regimen. Who needed troublesome boys anyway? Building a successful future was far more satisfying. Every time Tiffany tried to sneak a phone scroll break, I snatched her phone away instantly. Ethan, please, she'd whine dramatically, face buried in despair. My brain is turning to mush. Just let me scroll for a few minutes. I'd shove a math textbook into her hands without mercy. Here. When you're tired of studying, you can memorize formulas for fun. She collapsed onto the sofa, burying her face in a pillow dramatically. But studying is so hard. Why do I need calculus? I'll never use sine and cosine in real life. And why learn English? So many people speak Chinese, foreigners should learn our language instead. That was a philosophical question I couldn't answer. So I switched to a more practical approach to motivate her. Tiffany, think carefully. You're the only daughter of the Sean family. One day you'll inherit and run the entire company. If you can't read contracts or understand financial statements, you'll get scammed and ripped off blind. She fell silent, genuinely considering my words. I pressed my advantage harder. Without good grades and a proper education, you won't get a top university degree. You won't be able to buy designer bags, fine jewelry, or luxury couture anymore. You'll end up working brutal, high-stress jobs, slaving like a criminal for a farmer's pitiful salary. You won't even be able to afford a $10 boba tea. All color drained from her face. I delivered the final crushing blow. Worst of all, if you're poor and unsuccessful, that fake gentle Jasmine will definitely mock you relentlessly. There's nothing worse than getting kicked when you're down. I couldn't stand it for you. Could you? Hell no. Tiffany shot upright, slamming her palm hard on the table. I have to study. I must study. I breathed a huge sigh of relief. Thank God her competitive pride was so easy to trigger and weaponize. Fully fired up, Tiffany launched a full-scale academic assault. She even made herself a personal slogan, study till you drop or don't bother starting at all. Her parents were overjoyed, practically weeping with gratitude. They endlessly thanked me for curing their daughter's foolish boy-crazy phase and guiding her toward academic success. My new parents were even more dramatic. They hired 10 private tutors for us, practically kicked me out of the house, and ordered me to live and study at the Sean residence. I wasn't allowed home until I broke the top 100 in midterms. Tiffany patted my arm reassuringly. Don't worry about expenses. I'll cover everything. I've got plenty of money. I almost cried. She was truly too kind to me. In the original novel, Jasmine's constant rumors had turned Tiffany into a total social outcast in class. But under my guidance, Jasmine was too busy working part-time jobs to survive. She had zero time to stir up trouble or spread lies. Without the main couple poisoning the class atmosphere, Tiffany's true fun, easygoing personality shone through. She quickly became extremely popular among classmates. Inspired by her new dedication, the entire class started studying harder than ever before. Our homeroom teacher was on the verge of happy tears. You little troublemakers are finally hitting the books. He even gave Tiffany a special public shout-out for leading the class improvement. When midterm exams arrived, Tiffany was a nervous wreck, whispering constant encouragement to herself. You can do this. Don't be scared. You're an heiress. You don't lose. When results came out, she almost burst into happy tears. Tiffany, always a steady C student before, had skyrocketed into the top 50 of the entire grade. See how amazing you are, Tiffany? I encouraged her warmly. Keep this up, and you'll be top 10 in no time. She sniffled happily. What about you? What rank did you get? I winked mysteriously. Guess. She guessed dozens of times but never got close. During class, our teacher excitedly announced the amazing results. Our class average is drastically higher than last semester. Every student improved greatly, especially Tiffany Shawn, who jumped over 100 places. The class erupted in genuine, warm applause. Only Leo and Jasmine looked utterly miserable. Their endless part-time work had ruined their grades, making them drop even further behind. Then the teacher beamed and dropped the biggest bombshell of all. Furthermore, the number 1 ranked student in this entire grade is from our class. Congratulations, Ethan Sawyer. The classroom exploded in deafening applause. It was an unbelievable achievement. Our class was just a regular track class, never the honors elite. For one of us to take first place overall was absolutely shocking. Tiffany stared at me in pure disbelief. You're that smart? We had the exact same 10 tutors. How did you improve so fast? I smiled humbly. Just got lucky, I guess. She rolled her eyes playfully. Yeah, right. I was telling the truth though. Without my past life's accumulated knowledge and experience, I never would have claimed the top spot. That evening, Tiffany proudly showed her report card to her father. Mr. Shawn grabbed my hands tightly, thanking me so profusely I thought he'd asked to sworn brotherhood with me. Tiffany's personal thank you gift was another unlimited credit card. Here, spend however you want. There's unlimited funds. Don't you dare try to save my money again. The next day, a vicious rumor spread like wildfire across campus. Everyone was whispering that I'd cheated on the midterms to get first place. The second Tiffany and I stepped onto campus, we felt all the weird, judgmental stares. Our classmates filled us in immediately. I knew exactly who was behind it, our 2 favorite troublemakers, Leo and Jasmine. Don't worry, Ethan, one classmate reassured me. We all know you earned that rank fair and square. We've all seen you study non-stop. We'll back you up. Tiffany paced back and forth in pure fury. I'm so mad. Who can't stand seeing you succeed enough to spread these terrible lies? I know how late you stay up studying every single night. I grabbed her arm, amused by her frantic energy. Stop spinning in circles. You're making me dizzy. She glared at me fiercely. Hello? You're the one being slandered. Why are you so calm? I shrugged casually. What good would panicking do? If freaking out fixed things, I'd join you immediately. Our homeroom teacher called me into the office with a grave expression. Several other teachers and even the dean of students were present. I raised an eyebrow silently, waiting to hear them out. My teacher spoke softly and sincerely. Ethan, we all believe in you. Don't panic. Just tell us what you know. All the teachers here are on your side and ready to support you. I nodded calmly. I'd navigated cutthroat corporate politics for years in my past life. This trivial high school drama was nothing to me. What's more, I now had a wealthy, powerful family backing me up. I had unlimited capital to fight this battle if I wanted. I prepared a whole battle speech, but it turned out to be completely unnecessary. The dean began speaking first. Ethan, you just transferred here this semester. You haven't had time to make any enemies. Do you have any idea who would try to frame you? My hot-headed math teacher slammed his fist on the desk angrily. If I find out which little punk is spreading rumors instead of studying, I swear I'll. Our homeroom teacher cut him off quickly. Will you be quiet? There's a student present. You'll set a bad example. The angry thoughts running through my head were far worse than anything he could say. After listening to the teachers discuss the situation, I realized they hadn't summoned me to interrogate me. They'd called me in purely to comfort and defend me. All the students in Ethan's exam room have average grades, one teacher pointed out logically. There's no one he could have copied from to get first place. The idea of cheating via books or phones is ridiculous. We had strict proctors and security cameras everywhere during the exam. Whoever started this rumor didn't even bother making a believable lie. It's utterly moronic. I guarantee it's someone jealous of Ethan's achievement, trying to ruin his reputation. Don't worry, Ethan. We'll find the culprit and clear your name completely. I was grateful for the teacher's kindness, but I told them firmly I'd find the troublemaker myself. I called my father right away. My old man was rich beyond belief but perpetually angry at anyone who slighted his family. I asked him to hire a top-tier private investigator. He exploded with rage over the phone. Those bastards. My son finally gets his act together and aces his exams. And someone tries to frame him the very next day? Do they think my family name is just decoration? He ranted for another full minute before barking orders at his assistant without hanging up. Cancel all my meetings today. I'm in a terrible mood. Find me the best PI in the entire city. Money is no object. Tiffany, standing beside me and hearing every word, waved her hand generously. I'll cover the PI's fees. With unlimited money powering our investigation, we found the rumor source in record time. It was absolutely Jasmine Ray. My dad stormed into school with the PI, a team of lawyers, and a huge entourage. Even Tiffany's father showed up with his own staff. I stared at Tiffany, equally confused. Was trivial high school drama really worth two corporate tycoons' personal attention? Then I heard their words and nearly had a heart attack. My dad barked, "Bring the girl who framed my son in here." Mr. Sean commanded, "Bring the girl who framed my future son-in-law in here." Before either of us could process the shocking title, a sobbing Jasmine was dragged into the office, with Leo hot on her heels. Leo lifted his chin arrogantly, glaring at our fathers with open contempt. I know you rich people look down on us poor students. But that's no reason to frame Jasmine for starting rumors. Apologize to her right now, or I'll never speak to Tiffany again. Mr. Sean shot a skeptical, judgmental look at his daughter, clearly questioning her past taste in men. Tiffany shook her head frantically in embarrassment. Jasmine spoke in a soft, tear-soaked voice, playing the perfect victim. Leo, it's okay. I know Tiffany and Ethan have always disliked me. They're probably just confused in framing me on accident. Let's just drop this whole matter. Mr. Sean sized her up and down coldly, then shook his head. Mediocre grades, manipulative personality, and a desperate demeanor. No wonder my daughter can't stand you. Jasmine's face turned deathly pale, like she was about to collapse. Leo burst out furious. How dare you insult Jasmine? I'll call the police and sue you for slander. My dad didn't even bother glancing at him. No need to trouble yourself. I already called the police on my way here. Two uniformed officers walked into the office right on cue. The private investigator pulled up video footage on a large screen for everyone to see. The grainy alley footage showed Jasmine flirting with a scruffy-looking boy. Dylan, I'm so mad. A guy in my class cheated his way to first place. Oh yeah? What do you want me to do about it? Can you help me spread the rumor around school? What do I get in return? The boy grabbed Jasmine's chin, and their faces blurred together in a kiss. The disgusting audio and visual proof left every teacher and student in the room stunned. No one could believe the sweet, innocent-looking heroine had such a scheming side. My dad handed the evidence thumb drive to the officers. This young lady slandered my son with false cheating rumors that spread school-wide. I leave this case to your discretion. Jasmine shook her head violently, clutching Leo's hand. No. That's not me. I never did this. I work too hard every day to have time for this. Leo's face twisted with righteous anger. Enough. You forged this video to frame her. The school, police, and the Sean family have all been bought off. This so-called hero was an absolute idiot. Tiffany lunged forward to slap him again, but I held her back. Mr. Sean spoke coolly to the officers. Officers, you all heard his accusation just now. This young man is claiming police corruption. You may take him in for questioning as well. Finally faced with real police trouble, Jasmine completely panicked. Tiffany, please. Leo has his SATs coming up. He can't have a criminal record. Please tell them not to take us away. She stumbled forward, ready to kneel before Tiffany, but I blocked her path coldly. I scoffed openly. Are you stupid, Jasmine? I'm the one you slandered. My father's PI found all the evidence. Leo's in trouble because he ran his mouth recklessly. Why are you begging Tiffany? You're not begging for Leo, you're begging to save yourself. You tried to use everyone's sympathy and Tiffany's old crush on Leo to save your own skin. My words hit her hard, draining all color from her face. Even Leo's expression turned dark and defeated. No matter how much Jasmine cried and pleaded, my dad and Mr. Sean refused to show mercy. Both Leo and Jasmine were escorted to the police station to celebrate my name being fully cleared. Our two families held a grand celebratory dinner at a 5-star hotel. Mr. Sean, holding a glass of whiskey, slurred angrily. The nerve of those brats, messing with my daughter. Absolute trash. My dad clinked his glass with Mr. Sean's. You're absolutely right. They messed with my future daughter-in-law. I'll crush their futures completely. Once the initial excitement faded, I finally processed his strange wording. I pulled my mom aside privately. Mom, what did Dad and Mr. Sean mean just now? My mom smiled warmly and took Tiffany's hand gently. A few days ago, your father and Mr. Sean decided that after graduation, you and Tiffany will get engaged. I was absolutely horrified. Tiffany was only 18 years old. Technically, my soul was 25. My mom tapped my forehead playfully. What's that shocked face for? Is my daughter not good enough for you? My dad and Mr. Sean both stared at me sternly. I swallowed hard and shot a desperate pleading look at Tiffany, silently begging her to say something. Tiffany stared at me for a long moment, then turned her head away shyly, cheeks pink. Machum, you're passable, I guess. You're not an embarrassing person to have as my fiancé. I nearly banged my head on the dinner table. Are you serious? You were head over heels for Leo just weeks ago. How can you switch feelings this fast? Tiffany immediately shot back confidently. I was never in love with Leo. All eyes locked on her instantly. She continued honestly. I was just mistaken before. I once thought he was my knight in shining armor because he saved me from a car accident once. I put him on a ridiculous pedestal for years. But once I took off the rose-colored glasses, he was just an ordinary, shallow guy. Honestly, most of his actions were pretty disgusting. She turned to me with sincere, earnest eyes. You're the one who pulled me back when I was making a fool of myself simping after him. You taught me the importance of studying. You stood up for me and helped me fight back against everyone who bullied me. If I have to get engaged to someone, I'm willing to marry you. You're responsible and dependable. A warm, gentle feeling bloomed in my chest, like a whole field of flowers opening up. In both my past life and this new one, Tiffany was the first person to treat me with pure, unselfish kindness. Now she was sincerely willing to spend her life with me. Any guy would be moved by this. I wasn't sure if this was love exactly, but Tiffany was truly a wonderful person. Falling for her would be the easiest thing in the world. So I decided I was fully willing to try our relationship. Even with our new fiancé and fiancé titles, our daily dynamic barely changed. When it came to studying, she listened to every word I said. We were dead set on getting into the same top-tier Ivy League university. Tiffany's grades were still borderline elite, so we kept up our brutal study schedule without fail. She knew what was at stake and pushed through exhaustion every single day. In every other part of life, I was fully at her beck and call. I fetched her water when she was thirsty, rubbed her shoulders when she was tired. My whole job was providing premium, personalized care for my girl. As for the original hero and heroine, our family's lawyers showed them zero mercy. They firmly documented Jasmine's slander and Leo's police defamation charges. Both were forced to post public apologies on the school forum and all their social media accounts. They also had to apologize in front of the entire school during Monday's assembly and pay me compensation for emotional damages. After this, they became infamous school pariahs. Everywhere they went, students pointed and whispered about the lying, ungrateful pair who slandered top students and disrespected police. Completely shunned, they rarely left their classroom. Even so, Leo still had the audacity to approach Tiffany with unbelievable arrogance. Tiffany, if you pay my mother's ongoing medical bills, I'll do you the honor of being your boyfriend. In the original novel, Leo's mother suffered from chronic kidney failure. She needed weekly dialysis treatments, which Tiffany had fully funded for years, keeping her in a luxury VIP hospital room. Now that Tiffany had cut him off, his mother's condition was worsening. With no other options left, he'd come crawling back to his former ATM. Tiffany stared at him like he'd lost his mind. Are you insane? When did I ever say I wanted to date you? Leo acted like he was making a huge personal sacrifice. Your family has been harassing and ruining me on purpose to get my attention. Well, congratulations, you succeeded. I'll date you now. I couldn't hold back my laughter. He was trying to steal my fiancée right in front of me. Get lost, you clown. Leo glared at me irritably. I'm talking to Tiffany. Mind your own business. I stood up tall and protective. I'm talking to my future wife. You're the one butting in where you don't belong. Leo froze completely, then stared at Tiffany in rage. What is he talking about? Tiffany didn't hold back a single word. Are you deaf? Ethan and I are engaged. Can you not understand basic English? Impossible. You loved me. Tiffany looked utterly exhausted by his delusion. My eyes were clouded with garbage before, that's why I liked you. Now that I see clearly, why would I trade a genuine diamond for a worthless chamber pot? I chimed in smugly. Exactly. Garbage belongs in the trash. Go stick with your green tea loving girlfriend and stop polluting our air. Leo's fragile pride couldn't handle the humiliation. He spat a bitter "you'll regret this" before storming away. After he left, Tiffany felt so disgusted she lost all appetite. That was so gross. I can't believe I was ever delusional enough to like him. I comforted her gently. Don't worry. They won't bother you for much longer. I was proven wrong instantly. On our way back to class, Jasmine blocked our path, dropping to her knees and sobbing dramatically. Tiffany, I'll give Leo back to you. Just please save his mother's life. She framed it as if Tiffany was a cruel villainess tearing apart true love. I stared at the ceiling in pure exasperation. These two really were a packaged deal of idiots. Tiffany didn't even bother responding, rolling her eyes and pulling me forward. Jasmine scrambled to her feet, yelling after us. Tiffany, you're heartless. You're letting someone die. Leo will hate you forever for this. Tiffany stopped abruptly, turned around gracefully, and walked back to her. A triumphant smirk bloomed on Jasmine's face. I knew you couldn't stay cold-hearted. If you beg nicely, I might consider. Tiffany reached into my pocket, pulled out a dime, and flicked it hard at Jasmine's cheek. Jasmine stood frozen in stunned shock as the coin bounced off her face and clattered to the floor. Tiffany raised an eyebrow haughtily. I'm in a good mood today. Take this as a tip for your little dramatic performance. Her arrogant, domineering aura was straight out of a CEO romance novel, absolutely magnificent. I briefly wondered how she found time to watch romance dramas with our packed study schedule. Jasmine screamed endless curses at our retreating backs. I casually asked the student filming the whole scene to send me the video, then posted it directly to the school forum. Tiffany and Jasmine instantly went viral campus-wide. Someone even made a meme of the coin flick moment with the caption, "Thank you for the generous tip, Your Grace." I remembered the original novel's plot point where Tiffany introduced Leo to a powerful business mentor who helped launch his successful career. Now that Tiffany had cut Leo off completely, that crucial connection was gone. But I wasn't about to let him off easy. After careful planning, I subtly steered Leo toward a part-time job at a gritty 24-hour diner run by a man named Sal. On the surface, Sal was just a regular burger chef. But secretly, he hosted illegal high-stakes poker games in the diner's backroom. Exactly as I predicted, Sal sympathized with Leo's poor, struggling story. He invited Leo to join the poker games to earn quick money. At first, Leo won a few small pots, enough to cover his mother's immediate medical bills. Greedy for more, he dragged the cash-strapped Jasmine into the games with him. Their luck ran out instantly. They never won another hand again. Soon enough, both of them were drowning in massive gambling debt to Sal. The second I heard the news, I blocked both their numbers on mine and Tiffany's phones. I didn't want an ounce of their bad luck rubbing off on us. After that, they vanished completely. They stopped attending school, and no one heard from them again. I'd heard rumors about how Sal dealt with people who couldn't repay their debts. Men were sold for illegal organ trafficking, and women were sold into human trafficking rings. I didn't know if the rumors were true, but it was a fitting, poetic ending. The tragic fate originally written for me and Tiffany had finally fallen on the true villains. 6 months later, we took our final high school exams. After months of relentless, non-stop studying, both Tiffany and I were accepted into our top-choice Ivy League university. No parental pushing was needed this time. I took Tiffany to a luxury jewelry store to pick up the custom engagement ring I'd ordered weeks prior. I knelt down on one knee in front of her. "Tiffany Sean, will you marry me?" Surrounded by cheering onlookers, Tiffany teared up and nodded repeatedly. Yes, I will. Without the toxic hero and heroine ruining everything. The one side character and the so called villainess had finally gotten their perfect, happy ending.